Don't worry, YouTube. That wasn't Guns N' Roses. Hey, it looks like I lost internet out there a little bit, eh? Let me do the Google speed test. Google speed test. All right, we're back. Back. We're back. We got a bigger get. Pulling. Should be enough. Where do we go? Where do we go now? It's 8 o'clock in the morning and I'm out of coffee. Sons of biatch. Talk about a gas shortage. Yeah, look at that. Wow, dropped to 400. All right, good enough for the girls I go with. Who's alive? Hey, it looks like my YouTube is gone. Hang on. Where do we go now? Where do we go? Yeah, where did it go? I totally lost my YouTube. All right, I guess I'll go back to YouTube. I love you, YouTube. You can watch all my teenage girls on TikTok dance. No, we should probably do Forex. Hang on, I gotta get the stream so I can see the chat. Girls on TikTok. All right. There's the chat. I see you. Let me say hi. Hello. Ow, yeah. How's your mum? What I need to do, though, is I got to get to the stream. Stream. I got to get to the stream. All right. I think I'm here. Ooh, ooh. Almost there, guys. Just have to click a lot of buttons. Click on that, click on that. All just because my internet dropped for a second. I guess it was probably more than a second. Oh, is it Wednesday or is it Thursday? Does it say? Oh, sorry. Yeah, because the stream dropped, I just had to redo. And it suggested that Thursday the 13th. Okay, I'm updating learn how to trade Forex. I guess that'll be it. All right, so I updated that. All right, thank you. Hey, so how you doing? Sup? Cool. Hey, so welcome to Atlanta, Georgia. We don't have any gasoline. Apparently, North Carolina, not too far from Georgia. North Carolina, 75% of gas stations are out of gas. Wee. But like I said yesterday and the day before, gasoline distribution challenges have nothing to do with crude oil. So don't make the mistake of simply buying crude. And we'll look at that today. By the way, Breakfast of Champions, I figured it out. If I survive on nothing but beef jerky, I'll lose weight. Probably my mind. So happy Thursday. It's 8:05 in the morning. Stock market's way down yet again. Down. Dollar's ripper strong. Isn't it wonderful? Planned it, traded it, loving it. Let's go. Where do we go? Where do we go now? Where do we go? Hey, man, this beef jerky stuff. Hey, good morning. Let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term. Never risk money you can afford to lose. This is, what is this? Sweet heat grass-fed beef jerky. Breakfast of champions. All right, cool. So it's a beautiful day. Goose babies everywhere. Turtle nests everywhere. The sun is out, but it's cool here. Hope you're living in paradise. What are we going to do today? How about technical and fundamental analysis with the overriding goal of putting trade plans together? Today is Thursday, which means it's swing trading day. If you're in my swing trading group, we will meet at 2 p.m. and we're going to plan next week. Cool. Since I bailed on a whole bunch of trades yesterday, 600 pips profit. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Got out at the top. Loving it. Remember, I did a thing on how to take profit. I asked people who has a problem with discipline. Boom. That's how you do discipline. Cool. So now I need to rebuild the portfolio. So that's what we're going to work on later today. So we'll go through the charts, look at technical analysis, see where we are, where we're setting up. You're probably buying the stock market. Even Apple's down 15% right now. Cool. So there's some opportunities out there. Remember, back in April, I talked about the stock market coming down in May, and that I want it to come down so I can buy it. And I said it'll probably come down in the first 2 weeks, and I'll start buying it in the last 2 weeks. Oh, my God. Now the stock market's way down. Everybody's freaking out. It's inflation. It's inflation. It's inflation. It's inflation. No, it's supposed to happen. So cool. So I'm super happy, super psyched. Thank you for being here. Thank you for clicking the thumbs up. Thank you for being a valued member of the community. Thank you for keeping me excited about the markets and investing and trading and all of it that goes in. I love sharing it and my journey with you. If you need a foreign exchange broker, hey, why don't you try tradersway.com? They're the sponsor of our community, and they value your education. And the reason for it is if you're educated, you have a better chance, perhaps, maybe, at least in their opinion. If you're educated, you have a better chance of success. And when you're a successful trader, you trade every day, every week, every month, every quarter, every year, every decade. You just keep trading because you're profitable. And wouldn't that be a great client if you're a broker? Just a whole clientele of traders that trade every day? Versus a trader that comes in, they don't know what they're doing, they blow up their $500 account, and then they leave. Well, I'm sure a broker's cost of acquisition is really high. It's very competitive. I would guess, I'd have to guess, let's see, $10 a click. How many clicks to get a demo account? 20? So let's say 200 just to get them to fill out a demo. How many demos turn into a real account? I don't know. Probably more than 10. But so let's say it's at least $2,000 cost of acquisition to get a client. So wouldn't you like those clients to stick around, or are you happy just having them pop in a $500 and blow it up because they don't know what the hell they're doing? Well, that doesn't make any sense, because then a broker would be losing money. So they value your education. They actually want you to succeed. Why? It's a symbiotic relationship. If you know what you're doing and you become a profitable trader, there's a business opportunity. Provide you value through fast execution speeds, right? For example, low spreads, pay your swaps, invest in your education up front to develop the relationship, and then what? You're actually worth more than $2,000. Now, think about it. How many out of the, out of the spread, how many trades do you have to make before they get their $2,000 back, or whatever the number is? you can see all of a sudden you're like, dude, that's really something. So they want you and they need you to succeed. And that's why I'm here. So help me help Traders Way. Why don't you become a successful trader? Open up a real trading account. And everyone will be happy. Tradersway.com. Makes sense? Hope you don't mind me just laying it out. Somebody asked for gold. All right. What do you think? Where do we go? Oh, where do we go now? Let me get rid of this. We have to go all the way back. Let's go way back. Okay, so we're in this cycle here. Do you believe in this 382? Is the 382 going to take us north? That's what technical analysis is, by the way. Do you think the dollar gets stronger until the Fed meeting on June? No. I answered that 2 or 3 weeks ago, Adam. Come on. Come on, Adam. Okay. Remember, if you don't have a bias now, if you don't have an opinion on such a question, and I'm not picking on you, Adam, it's a good question, but just sort of a message to everyone, then you're vulnerable. What you're saying is you don't know. Okay? What you're saying is you don't know, and you need to have an opinion on that. Oops. I guess I'll leave that there. Okay? You're going to have an opinion on that. So, yeah, I said the stock market was going to come down in May. I told you I wanted it to come down in May. So what does that mean? Dollar strength, commodity, right? Commodities come down. Yen strength, Swissy strength. Cool. Right on. But remember, I'm essentially now a buyer. Why? The market's coming down. That should tell you a lot. Mr. Kennedy says, hey, came across a podcast about macroeconomics. Have you heard of it? No. Right? I don't listen to anybody. I don't read anybody. Right? So I really try to isolate it so that I'm not influenced by anybody. Isn't that interesting? So anyways, okay, so you have to have an opinion on this, or is it going to come down further? Well, the way you trade it is you take this trade and you jam your stop. Now you're up here and you're profitable. Now you move your stop to -3 and you wait. I don't have a dilemma of whether I'm a buyer or not. I know if I'm a buyer on commodities or not. I know if I'm a buyer of the stock market or not. Now, individual stocks, well, that's your alpha as well. You have to, what sector, what type of company, how far out you project. But like stock indices, are you going to buy the S&P 500? So you have to know, to answer that question, you have to have an opinion of where we're going to be between now and the end of the year, let's say. Peter, did I know the stock market was coming down? I don't know. Part of my brilliance. Okay. Let me ask a question. There's only 122 people here, but how many people here knew my opinion of the stock market coming down in the first 2 weeks of May and that I wanted to buy the drop in the second 2 weeks? How many people knew that? Like, knew it factually? I was preparing, it's coming, This is what I'm doing. Anybody? I just want to make sure it's clear. If it's not clear, then oh my God, then I didn't do a good coaching job. Okay? Jim said I did. Rick did. Johnny did. PF did. Yeah. Sarab did. Daniel did. Peccary did. Damath did. Yeah. Gary. Nino. Cool. Cool. I taught you in February. That's actually funny, huh? And James says you taught us in February. All right, let's isolate that for a second. If that's true, yeah, then what does it mean to you? Let's not even say if it's true or not. Let's just say if you think it's possible that I taught a group of people that this was going to happen back in February. If it's true, then is there something repeatable here, or is this a wild and crazy guess? Do you want to know that type of information? Okay. Many people here, probably everybody said that they knew. They also know what day I'm going on vacation. And they know the reason why I go on vacation. And I plan my vacations around what the market's going to do. Right? So I want you to think of that. You're like, what? So it's not like I threw out a Hail Mary and like, okay, the stock market's coming down. I actually plan my year based on this. I want you to think about that. I plan my life, not just my trades and my investing, but I plan my life around such things. My wife, when planning things that we're going to do with our kids and our family members, she has to pull up a Federal Reserve banking schedule. That's not a joke. So it's important, isn't it? How neat, though, right? How neat. Like if you don't know fundamental analysis, for example, or if your last guru told you fundamentals are news, like, oh, well, I'm going to trade the weekly jobs claim and the industrial production coming out on Thursday. I'm a fundamental trader. No, you're not. That's stupid. If somebody tells you they're a fundamentals trader and they trade the news, they don't know what they're talking about. Oh my God, did you see industrial production? It was down 0.2%. They thought it was going to be down 0.3%. That's such good news. You're like, dude, seriously? That's what your last guru thinks? Well, plan your year out. That's what a fundamentals trader. I don't want you to think of trading news as fundamentals. I want you to think of George Soros. Is George Soros going to throw down $1 billion trade on dollar because of weekly jobless claims? The answer is no, because that's not macroeconomics. It's not even fundamental analysis of the United States. It's a data point. It might create some volatility. Who cares? That's for scalpers. That's for itty bitties. George Soros will one day show up and say, sell the dollar for years. Okay? He makes his decisions on macroeconomics and things like central banking, which is a government's response to macroeconomics. Okay? So Thiago says, Wayne, this week Fed meeting dollar went down shortly after inflation news and then strong dollar. This inflation data trade got it wrong? No, this is profit taking, guys. How many people watched me take 600 pips profit? Was it yesterday or the day before? I don't even remember. 2 days ago, I guess, right? How many people watched that one? I took profit on the bottom of the USD CAD. I took profit at the top of the Aussie dollar, and I took profit off the top of the euro dollar. Okay? Now, yeah, I think it was Monday, right? Might have been Tuesday, but I think it's Monday. And I asked the question first, how many people have problems with discipline? And a few people admitted it. We all do, I think, right? If discipline was easy, then it wouldn't be difficult. But we know discipline is difficult, so then we must all struggle with it. Cool. So anyways, a lot of people think discipline has to do with getting into a trade or getting out of a bad trade, not losing 300 pips on a trade. Instead, get out before that, whatever, right? I think all of that is easy. If you can't get that down, you will fail as a trader. So it's a natural culling of the herd. If you're the sick and the weak, you will die, and the herd will continue on without you, and the herd is strong. So if you're going to be a professional trader, that's not a big deal. Now, discipline. Discipline is how do you get out of an awesome winning trade before it collapses. And I said, here's the challenge. When you're at the top, you think you're the world's greatest trader. And if it's up 300 pips, why not 3,000 pips? Well, that's also a weak attitude, isn't it? I thought you had a trade plan, son. I thought the discipline had to do with executing trades, not glory. So somebody asked me, why would I take profit? I think Daniel did, right? Was that you, Daniel? Like, why would you take profit here? You're making so much money. I'm like, there's no glory in it, Daniel, right? I think it was Daniel. I'm like, there's no glory in this. It's not about glory. It's not that I can make another 1,000 pips. Oh, I know what you said. I think it was Daniel, and if it's not, I apologize. You're like, I thought you were going to hold it to July, right? So I think I said, look, there's no glory in it. It's not about glory. It's not about me holding it to July to say, see, look how long I held this trade. I am analyzing the market. I think the market is, the conditions are changing, right? And it's my job to recognize this and book the profit on behalf of clients. It's my job. They don't know how long I held it. They don't know how risky the trade was or how risk-free the trade was. They don't know why I'm in it. They don't know what the time frame is. But my job is to provide them value. So 600 pips I took out of the market on behalf of, the value creation. It's about making money, but with low risk, low volatility, and all that kind of stuff. But the issue was the way I explained it. And you can watch the video. It's part 2 of a recent live stream, and I explain why and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, and Theta's right. I said once you've made the decision, don't look back. Don't regret it. If it goes farther, look, you got out because the probabilities have changed. So it doesn't matter what happens next. It really doesn't matter. If the probabilities have changed, you must change your behavior. Otherwise, you are not disciplined. So I asked the question first to set it all up to be a learning experience. And then I'm like, this one's wildly profitable. Take profit. This one's wildly profitable. Take profit. This one's wildly profitable. Take profit. Okay. What happened next? So I was short dollar, short dollar, short dollar. All of a sudden, dollar strong, dollar strong, dollar strong. But I'm out. I'm spending the money. I'm tanning on the beach. Look at me. I'm pretty. Right? Feels good. I told you, that's what feels best. Making a tough decision and then finding out you made the right decision. After, right? That's the best feeling you'll ever get trading Forex. If your best feeling is because you made a profitable trade, then I'm worried. A, you didn't expect to make money. That's why it's so rewarding to you. Well, you got to work on other stuff. Making money is normal, right? It's your job. The next thing is if you make a lot of money and that's exciting to you. Well, making a lot of money, generally speaking, is a function of taking a lot of risk, and therefore you're fired. So if you make a lot of money because you put a large trade on, you are fired. In fact, you'll fire yourself by blowing up your trading account. Now, the next thing is, you're allowed to make a lot of money if you have, 27 small trades you took one at a time and manage the risk on each, and then you're letting it run into a trend, and then you exit all those positions, and 27 winning trades can add up to a lot of money. And then I'll say, that's good. But remember, that wasn't a function of risk. That was a function of the value creation of the trade setup and the trade management. And that's exactly how you succeed in this game. You say, I have a fundamental bias. I'm waiting for the right market conditions. Aha, I got the right market conditions. Small trade, manage the risk. 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 Small trade. And all of a sudden, 3-4 months goes by, you got 27 open trades, and it's running, and you're up, 10, 15,000 pips, and then for whatever reason, you exit, and now you have a lot of money. That's the way you do it. Okay. How did I know it? Michael says, how did you know exactly the right day? That's what technical analysis tells you. So let me pick on like USD CAD. Let me go back to that because I remember that was the obvious one. I had, 300 pips profit on this one? Look, let me ask you. Is that it? Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. How did I know to get out right there? If you don't know that, if you can't see that, then you don't know technical analysis. We'll work on that. Sign up at EdFX Bootcamp. $382 later, you're fixed. Okay? Think about it that way. The answer's right there. It's obvious. In your face. Ridiculous. Obvious. So if you don't know, $382 will fix that problem. Absolutely. You will know exactly. And by the way, I knew that number something like 4 weeks ago. Wayne, the screen has very high brightness. Only on... Really? Oh, you know what I did is I lowered my brightness on my screen. How interesting. Hang on. It's a Windows issue. I lowered my brightness so it faded you out. Interesting. Hang on. See if I can do this. Look at the resolution, huh? 3840 by 1080. I think I did that. There we go. Gee whiz. Now it's redonkulously bright for me. Holy crap. So hopefully that's better. Right? Yep. So Michael's already signed in. Yeah, it's just like, that's it. I actually have to change it. Let's do this. Let's do this. Okay. I was short here on a front run. By the way, this is a basic, boring, straightforward, easy swing trade. This starts with a front run. Okay, so you'll recall I was short right here. And my target was right here. So the question was, how did I know dollar was going to get strong? Well, I knew that way over here. Right? Done. Okay? Isn't that amazing? You have to have the right tools, right? Okay. Cool. Cool. The interesting thing is this was predictable too. And if you were a bull on USD CAD, you would have tried here and you would have failed. Okay. There's only one other setup for a bull, and that's buying it down here. Isn't that crazy? This is why I teach you, regardless if you're a bull or a bear, you're likely to make money. I don't care what your bias is. You consistently trade your bias, and at the end of the year, you will be profitable. I'm convinced of that. Okay? So, for example, bears would always sell that, and bulls would always buy that. Bears won. Why? Market conditions. Bulls would always buy this. Look, they were profitable for a day, and then they got knocked out at break even. Okay? And bulls would always buy that. There's only two bullish trade plans on this chart. This is A, and this is B. It's not that it's going to go up. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying these are prices in which a bull would look to buy if they're bullish. It doesn't make the market bullish. You're supposed to use your technical analysis, not asking indicators to tell you what to do, but you should be able to interpret the math that the indicators are doing. Okay? So anyway, so I sold in here, and my target was here. And that's exactly where I got out. Okay? I could have got out here, but I waited to check the volatility and stuff, right? Nice, right? It's ending very, 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 very soon. I'm raising the prices. Okay. All right. So that's that. So again, how can I predict the future? Well, I'm just doing technical analysis on top of my seasonality, on top of my fundamental bias. So I'm doing three things: technical analysis, right? Fundamental analysis, and seasonality. Cool. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. So I'm trying to give you the psychology of I'm setting up my next trades. Okay. Okay. Wayne, with temporarily high inflation, could we expect the same outlook? Blah, 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 blah. Ask Jay Powell. It's the only thing matters. Okay? That's all that matters. You're making it too complicated. All right. Cool. So, why is WTI coming down? Yesterday, I said oil has nothing to do with the gas shortage. Don't confuse the two. Once again, if you start jumping on news and you're buying oil like, oh my God, there's a shortage. There's not a shortage. I want you to understand there's no shortage of gasoline in the United States. And therefore, there's no shortage of crude oil. I asked you weeks and weeks and weeks ago to log into the government website and look at where we are in supply. You would know that there's no supply shortage at all. In fact, we've been building up inventories. We have tons of inventory of crude, which means refineries are buying the crude and refining it, cracking it into product, whether it's jet fuel or gasoline or tar for the roads, plastic for Barbie dolls, so on and so forth, lubricant, okay? It's all there, man. We got all of it. So what's the issue? Supply chain. So don't read the news and say, oh, there's cars lined up all over the place. There's a shortage of gas. This is crazy. Gasoline prices are going to go to $5 a gallon. And, oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. Dude, you're not doing the work. You're following the hype. Once again, if you don't understand, you should not be making decisions until you understand. So what's going on here? Is there a problem with WTI? Is there a shortage? No. Okay. So isn't it neat? There's a crisis going on and oil comes down. Why? Well, if you bought oil because of what you're hearing in the news, you're not doing your job. Okay, time to grow up. So when I ask you to do the work, you should do the work. But if you make decisions based on what you hear on the radio and on TV and in the newspapers, then you're a liquidity event for people that are making adult decisions. Holy crap, that was a bitch slap. Sorry about that, but hopefully you heard me. Hopefully you heard me, right? And if it felt like a slap in the face, but there's an ounce of truth, then it was a good message. Okay? You need to do the job. Don't believe the hype. Has an equal, can I get this through to you? My 98s are booming in my trunk with funk. Oh, you punks can't stop my dunks. Right? See? As an equal, can I get this through to you? I'm not preaching at you. I'm not telling you I'm the best and I'm the greatest and you should. I'm telling you as an equal, one-on-one, me to you, you need to be focused on doing the work and making decisions. Don't believe the hype. As an equal, can I get this through to you? Okay? And all the punks can't stop my dunks, right? Got my Michael Jordan footprints on their backs. So if you're a punk trader, right, I'll dunk on you, right? You got to listen to Chuck D, I'm telling you. No, it's not easy. Chuck D, man. Flavor Flav. So anyways. All right. So brutal truth this morning. Sorry. Buckle up. Cool. So I'm super excited because I have cash to deploy. My wife laughed at me 2 days ago, I guess. I'm like, I got all this dry powder. I'm ready to deploy. And she's like, oh my God. I'm like, what? What? She's like, you and your dry powder. I'm like, baby. But it's true. I went to cash. I got dry powder. All right. All right. So let's do yens. Don't believe the hype. Cool. Cool. In, out. Nothing's changed unless you're going to be a buyer. If you're a seller, look how difficult technical analysis is. Okay, you ready? Down, 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 up, up. By the way, what does the 55 predict? Lower high or a higher high? Down, 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 up, up. 2155. Here, technically, the market is bearish, technically speaking. Okay? Okay? So, the 55 predicts a lower high. Maybe double top. Okay? Cool. At this point, at this point, okay, the market is technically bearish. John, it's just a random, it's just what this chart was set at. But on this time frame, that's when the market becomes technically bearish. What does my book teach you to do? What does my book teach you to do next, I guess is the right question. Don't believe the hype is unequal. Can I get this through to you? My 98s are booming in my trunk with funk. All you punks can't stop my dunk. Man, I got Public Enemy on my mind. Anybody? Yeah. Sell the 5.8. Sell the 5.8. Sell the 5.8. I know, right? Not ride the 55. No. Kick off the 21 with a 5.8 cross. Cool. Cool. So let's switch this up. By the way, just to refresh, I know I covered it for about 2 days here. Okay. This is the conservative target. Okay. Not a bad out. All right. Let's day trade this sucker. Try to do something here. Day trading bearish. Don't believe the hype is unequal. Okay, you ready? Sell zone. Sell zone. Sell zone. Now, check this out. Conservative target. Conservative target. Conservative target. It actually says, can you guys read it? I don't know your resolution. 84.2885 bearish conservative target. We're already done today. All you had to do is be a bear. I don't care why. I don't care how you got to the decision. I don't care what tools you use. I don't care if you're doing Elliott Wave, CCI. Maybe you use your alligator indicator. I don't really care. There's so many things going on here. Price action, pivot points, moving averages. Your alligator will do it. Let's throw down our alligator. Where is it? Insert indicators. Where's the alligator thing we saw? Oh, there it is. Alligator. All right. Can I make this? Let's make it fat for all to see. I have no idea what this nonsense does. All right. So let's now remove my indicator. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, so different, huh? Great, Great, great. So we have our alligator. See? Can you see it? Theta says, seasonality. Why do I have confidence about it? Because we look at 20 years of data. Yeah, Molly, you go to indicators, you see, biased pivot points, and you can switch it to bearish mode or bullish mode. Okay. Do bulls buy down here? No. Do bulls buy down here? No. Do bulls buy down here? No. Okay. So I go back to indicators. Okay. So let me repeat something I said earlier today. If you simply be a bull or a bear, and as a bull, you only buy bullish setups, and as a bear, you only sell bearish setups. You don't have to switch. You don't have to buy today and sell tomorrow. If you just do the one thing and you do it well, you will be profitable at the end of the year. You will also go through periods of time where you don't get many trades at all. This is a period where over here it was very bullish. But now your alligator indicator showed bearishness. Okay? Up, right? Down, up, sell. 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 Down. And now you might say, oh my God, this alligator indicator is incredible. Don't be silly. Don't be silly. Okay? Because if you can't trade the moving averages, you can't trade the alligator. If you can't trade the pivot points, you can't trade the alligator. If you can't make a fundamental decision, if you can't even decide whether you're a bull or bear, you can't trade this. You don't have it. You don't have the skills. You don't have the patience. You don't have the discipline. You're not doing the work. You can't do it. Doesn't matter. I don't care. I've always said that. I don't care what indicator you use. Irrelevant. Okay? Pure price action tells you the same thing. Down, up, sell. Down, up, sell. Down. You could even skip that one. Up, sell. These are just day trades. Okay? But isn't it nice that you know the target? Isn't it nice you know the target? Isn't it nice you know the target? So they're helpful. But if you can't make the decision and you can't carry out or execute your strategies, okay? Sell, then the tools are irrelevant. Okay? You're like, oh, you bought Michael Jordan high tops? Now you can play basketball. Do you remember Spike Lee? It's the shoes. It's the shoes. High flying, death defying 360 slam dunk. It's the shoes. No, it's Michael Jordan practicing millions of hours. He used to dunk over everybody, and then they started blocking the lane so he couldn't go in, forcing him to shoot. But then they started double teaming him. So then he had to go into the corner. And what did he do? He practiced this little move a million times, or he would fake going to the net and he'd bump you and you'd kind of fall backwards a little bit. And while you're falling backwards, he would jump backwards, creating this pocket between the motion of the defender falling back a little bit. And I only mean like a little bit for a half a second, but the weight was on the back foot. Now he would push back. So now you got this gap and he would just shoot over you. Why? Because they double teamed him on the three-pointer. Why? Because they were closing the lane. So he went from the best dunker to a great shooter, from a great shooter to a guy down in the corner, like, right? It's practice and practice. And he wasn't a one-hit wonder. He was amazing at offense, but then he sucked at defense. A couple years later, he won the best defensive player in the league. And he was also the best offensive player. Oh, it's the shoes. It's the shoes. Oh, it's Scottie Pippen. He had great help. Maybe he worked really hard. Yeah, Edward. It was amazing because it was undefendable. You couldn't defend him. He either made the shot or he missed the shot. There was nothing you could possibly do about it. How beautiful. So are you waiting for the shoes? Are you trying on the alligator now? Oh, the alligator's going to save you. Oh, I use different moving averages. Oh, maybe the MACD. Maybe the Stokes. Which tool is going to save you? Okay. So again, on oil, if you got jacked up on the news, there's a shortage in the United States. There's cars lined up for gasoline. Right? And you bought oil because you thought it would go up. You decided to trade that news, and yet you also decided to ignore me over the weeks and weeks and weeks. I kept telling you to look at the seasonal average and where we are now. The 5-year seasonal average of oil inventories, where we are in oil inventories, where peak oil inventories are, and when we get to that point. If you ignored me on all of that, but then you decided to trade what you saw on TV, I have no sympathy, honestly. I probably should. Oh, but I don't. Yeah, you got to work. Okay? Wow. Okay, I don't know why I'm so pissy today. Guess I was up super early this morning. Yeah? Yeah? Cool. All right. Let's take a look. So I exited this one up here. Okay? Nice. Good exit, right? Yeah, not bad. Okay. Cool. So now I'm hoping for some up. At some point, I want this to recover. So what tools could I use to define when I get back in? I've never used the alligator in my entire life. I don't know anything about the alligator. Okay? So I'm going to use it. I don't know anything about this. Okay? I'm going to make money on it anyways. Do you know why? I know I'm a bull. Hey, there's a person again trying to spam you to get you to go to their investing channel. To the person spamming, if you have to go to such low levels to get viewers, you suck. Why don't you put, I don't know, $10,000 worth of advertising on a credit card and promote your channel on YouTube like an adult with real money? How about that, spammer? And Steven got blocked too, but yeah. Yeah, how funny. Scammer. Anyways, cool. All right. Wow, this looks 3D. I should have my 3D glasses on. all right, I'm a bull on this. I don't know what this indicator does. I can make money. Yeah, this is the alligator. I don't know anything about it. I've never used it my entire life. To me, it's irrelevant. What is relevant is I know what I want to do and I know why I want to do it. I'm ready, willing, and able to carry this out. And that's how you do it. Right? Yeah, Mr. Kennedy, how much does a Windows laptop cost? $200, $300? And you don't need power to run MT4. Like, look at this. Even on a 5-minute chart, 3 pixels update every 5 minutes. Right? If you use a 4-hour chart, right? Once again, 2 or 3 pixels, right? I mean, you don't need much power. A cheap laptop is enough, right? Cool. So, I must thank my alligator for making me filthy, stinking rich. Okay. So here's that trade plan, by the way. I forgot this existed. Check that out. Okay. So I got out here. Somebody said, how did I know? Well, there's my trade. I was in here. That was my target. Nice. So now I have to, work with the swing trading group to find new swings. Yeah. So we got a lot to do today. I exited this way up here. I think this was my line in the sand. Not too bad. Good decision. This looks pretty killer though, huh? So I got to watch this now, right? I'm looking at the price action. If we get some consolidation, I might get me some up. Okay. So swing traders look at this and they see plan A and plan B. Okay. I don't know which one to expect. Plan A, I can see it. I know if you're a swing trader, you're thinking about it. And you're like, okay, yeah, you got the fib, that works. You got the pivot, that works. It's a bit of a front run, that's fine. Getting pretty okay price action at those prices. Okay, great. Now, if that doesn't work and it makes a lower low throughout Thursday, then we know by Monday we'll be probably setting up plan B. And you're like, oh my God, that's a nice price too. Okay. So you should know that. You should look at that and say, oh, there's the two plans. One's probably going to happen today. If it doesn't and collapse and we get a move down, then you probably have your Friday front run or your Sunday open. And you're like, oh, that's a nice price. Neat. Very cool. And you're done. I just planned out my entire week on euro dollar. Okay. Does that show you that you don't need to sit in front of your charts 5, 6, 7 hours a day? If I can open up my chart and say, ooh, that or the other, done. Today or Sunday, done. Just planned it out. Okay. So what you do is you start with that analysis and then you work your way into day trading and scalping inside of that knowledge. Cool. Ooh, look at this one. Okay, we don't know how accurate this is yet. Okay, we're still above the 4-hour 21, which is a buy. If it drops down further to the 55, we know that sets up a lower high. So it really comes down to what you believe. Okay? So plan A, let me clear this out. Plan A, I'll do in black, and I want to make this a little thinner. Plan A is this. Okay. Plan B, let me do it a slightly different color, is it breaches this, comes down. Okay, that's B. Who thinks B and who thinks A? Cool. The nice thing about trading is plan A has to happen now. So you might sit there and say, well, that ain't happening. So what if it doesn't happen? You're sitting there for waiting on A. Well, then you wait for B. How much money do you lose waiting for B since A failed? Nothing. Okay. Now, I want you, how did I have that planned? Check this out. You ready? That is the conservative estimate of May's highest price. Now, if you had known that in advance, would that influence your decision on whether to take profit here or not? By the way, let's say about this time, let's say by the middle of April, you would have already had this projection. So it's now May 13th. If you didn't know this, April 13th, or 7 days later, April 20th. If you didn't know this number, then you're trading blind. You would have to admit to yourself you don't know. And that might be your issue. Okay? Does your alligator tell you that? No. Do your moving averages tell you that in advance? No. Does your Elliott Wave tell you that? No, but it probably is helpful. I don't count waves, so I don't really know. But if you thought this was a 5 wave, yeah, I could see that. You'd wimp out or something. But I think you'd still be riding this 21 and whatever. So you might be going to 155 or something on Elliott Wave. I don't know. I'm not an Elliott Wave guy. So right now, okay, you might argue and say this is a CPP to you, so you're going for 155.50. So you're going here. Okay? And I'll say, okay, I got you. That's fine. That's fair. Now, I started out May believing in mediocrity in the first 2 weeks and then expansion in the next 2 weeks. So I would say, I get you. I got you. Technically, that says keep going up. But maybe not this time. Okay? So that I have that in the back of my mind. Okay? Okay? So I've been teaching this now for 2 months, maybe 3 months. This type of move. Now, your moving averages will look like this. But the way I'm looking at it is like this. Okay? What do you think? Sorry I'm so grumpy today. Not enough sleep. Sorry. I'm actually quite happy. I'm loving it. Loving it. What a great May. I think I am. Yeah, very grumpy. But at least I'm apologizing. I apologize. I can hear it. Right? You've earned my respect. I'm not being disrespectful. Or at least I don't intend on being disrespectful. Okay. Oh, David's like, I thought you were sounding upbeat. Yeah. Yeah, I'm out of coffee. I should restate it, though. Amazon showed up the other day. I think it was 2 days ago, so Monday. 200 Nespresso pods. 200. I'm like, oops. So I'm not actually technically out. It's just my cup is empty. Maybe you're depressed. I don't think so, but thank you, Moreno. I know you mean it in good terms. No. No, I'm not depressed. Tell you that. Supposed to get my Porsche back today. Oh, I doubt it. I haven't driven it in a month. Gee Louise. So that I'm looking forward to that, although I can't get gas for it. It's a beautiful day. It's not cool. It's not hot. It's not cold, but maybe I can find some sunshine and a cigar. I'm in the middle of reading right now. You might have seen, I accidentally streamed it the other day. Trying to find my no band card, no Forex news. I thought it was just here. Let me just move. No, I must have closed it. I'm reading the original paper on Bitcoin. I don't know where it went. I just don't have it anymore. Is it on? Got buried? No, that's the news calendar. Vanguard. No. Anyways, I was in the process of reading the original research paper on Bitcoin. So that's a good opportunity to sit down with a cigar. That's right. Nakamoto! Right? Yeah, so I was reading his paper on it, right? Okay. So that's the original. Yeah, Thiago. That's the original paper on Bitcoin. So I'm doing the MIT course right now. One of the questions they gave me in the first module here is, should central banks and public institutions update or change the money their country uses? Like, what a dumb question. I think they're nerdy. So they're nerdy engineers that don't write good. So I'm like, which central banks? The Fed, the Bank of England, the ECB, or Venezuela, Argentina, or Zimbabwe? Like, like, dude, come on, ask a better question. Danny's out for cigars and some golf and some nice wine. Very cool, man. Is the golf club good? The Byron? It's a PGA, right? You're watching it, or are you playing the Byron? Byron Nelson, right? No, a different one. Let me look that up. Byron. Okay, yeah, Byron Nelson, right? Yeah. Cool. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. That's going to be great. So I have 2 tickets to the Masters tournament in 2022, and I've purchased a suite actually, in the original farmhouse at the course. Like, it was farmland, and then Bobby Jones built a course, right? So it's now a bed and breakfast. So I rented a suite for the Masters Tournament 2022. Looking forward to that. My first Masters. Yeah, I'm bringing my dad. Yep. And that's really it too, because, he's a golfer. I used to be a golfer. Now I don't have time, but I understand his passion, and we've golfed maybe 100 times together over the years. And so, for us to get together here in Georgia and go to the Masters, it's really quite something. Yeah, because they don't sell tickets. But because I'm a male model, I have, certain cachet. I can do these things. But can you imagine my first day here at the MIT course? They're like, money is a medium of exchange, a store of value, and a unit of account. And I just kind of like, like, oh no. But yeah, they're moving on. Mm-mm. All right, 9:16 in the morning. I feel like I'm kind of stalled out here. Right. I'm a buyer, and the market's falling. So, I'm doing my job, right? Doing my job, waiting, preparing, analyzing. Yeah. Well, Daniel says, yeah, that must be frustrating. But to be honest with you, I feel like they come out and they start with that and then they gloss over a lot of things, which is funny because they covered a lot of things that I cover in my fundamentals class, which I'm going to rename monetary policy course. But I start out with, what money is. And I think I go into pretty good detail on like how banking was created in fractional reserve type banking, where I say, I take you to Sumar, right? I'm pretty sure I do that in the course where I'm like, let's go to Sumar. The Sumerians, right? With what is Basra rock or something. They're the ones that had gold in the vaults and people paid them to store their value, right? And I break it down. So at MIT, they're like, yeah, and goldsmiths invented a banking or something, and then they just move on. I'm like, whoa. I spent a half an hour on that, right? So they've burned through that really quickly. And we're just moving on to like they explain ledger to ledger, which I get, and then they're like, all right, so let's define the difference between distributed and decentralized. So, anyways, Wayne, is it your opinion? Yes. The opinion is this. Mr. Kennedy, you do some very, very simple, basic research. I mean, basic. It's so basic, I would even accept flipping of a coin. But I think if you did a little more research, you could actually have an opinion. Especially since central banks tell you. That's what I'm like. It's not a lot of research. Central banking is quite straightforward. I mean, you can go to college and get a degree to become a central banker. Like, you can read the same textbooks, you can learn the same models, right? You can hang out at the same bars, and you can do the same type of research, get the same kind of data, and then say, well, I used to hang out at a bar near Yale, so I understand what Ben Bernanke would do in a situation like this. And you're like, you make a decision. It's really, really not complicated. I don't know why anybody fights this. Okay? They're like, oh, I don't understand fundamentals. It's too crazy. No, dude, come on. So you do some very basic research, very basic analysis, and you make a decision. Yes, bull or a bear. But the why is quite easy, in fact. Okay, Mr. Kennedy? And from that, you say, well, I guess I'm bullish on macroeconomic expansion. That opinion will get you like, I don't know, 20 different trades in different markets for different reasons, but all based on the same fundamental premise. It's not that complicated. So yeah, the answer is yes. If you can't even do that and you're like, well, everything's in the price. Like, to me, it's startling when someone comes up to me and they're like, it's all in the price. I'm like, okay, price is super important. I totally agree. But you're not willing to even make a fundamental bias? No, everything's in the price. Like, really? Like, it's not that complicated. Like, you're not even willing to do that? Like, and it's just bewildering. But I can't argue. It's sort of like someone that loves Trump or someone that hates Trump. You can't have a conversation. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, right? I can't have a conversation. That's that. So it's all in the price. I'm like, cool, right on. Great. But the truth is, the price is reflective of many different things. Central banking policy creates the trend because it influences the flow of capital across borders and around the world. Money goes into the interbanking system, money comes out of the interbanking system. Why not learn that process as well as being an amazing price trader? I think you should know both. But for someone to say it's all in the price, I don't need to know all this stuff. All this other stuff is mumbo jumbo. Macroeconomics, boring. Central banking, oh, they manipulate everything. Well, if you understand the game of manipulation, how they do it and why they do it, then you can predict it and you'd be a better price trader. Like, why would you not want to know? I'm just bewildered. So, but that's the opinion, right, Mr. Kennedy? He's like, it's all in the price. So you just be a bull, then a bear, whatever. That's cool. But I would suggest you would start with the fundamental bias first. The Fed told us a year ago what was going to happen. Great. Now I've done entire lectures multiple times explaining what he said and what it means. So from that you can create a bias. Now the next thing, and this is what throws a lot of people off, is they can't predict the future. Not today, Gary. Right? Too big of a question. They can't predict the future. They're a bull, but as soon as it gets going, it collapses, and then they miss the buy, and then it goes up, then they buy late, and then it collapses. And right? So they're never in at the bottom, they're in the middle, and then they don't know to get out at the top, so they get knocked out in the middle, and they get kind of lost. What they're forgetting is that there's political cycles, there's real estate cycles, there's business cycles, there's seasonality, which is just another cycle. And the way I've always explained it is it's like a farmer. Farmers generally know they're going to plant in April or May. They know generally they're going to harvest in September or October. They know summer is going to be hot. They know winter is going to be cold. But inside of all this generality, they have variables that they must pay attention to make decisions. Was there a lot of snow this winter? If so, will it be wet at the end of April? Will they have to wait till May? Is it El Nino? Is it La Nina? Is it something in between? Well, that matters if you grow almonds in California or tomatoes in California or lettuce. It matters if it's La Nina. But you're like, well, what is that? Is that a seasonal thing? No, that's a cycle thing. But if you understand the El Nino or La Nina, you'll say, oh, well, based on, 100 years worth of research, this summer might have more rain than usual. Or, in the other situation, this summer might be drier this particular summer than the last few because we're in a 4-year cycle. Sorry, it's El Nino, La Nina. This is how I understand it, right, Iron? So if you understand that, you can take that potential variable and then put it into your normal season. How will that influence this year if it's a little drier? Oh, well, maybe there'll be less yield and you'll need more fertilizer, or maybe that means there'll be more grasshoppers, so you need more pesticide or something. But you make decisions, right? And so now there's a 4-year cycle on top of a 12-month cycle. What are you going to do? Well, you're going to make informed decisions. Right? Just so you know, in case you don't know, that's what I'm talking about. There's a 4-year cycle right here. If you don't know it and you're a farmer, you're going to pay the penalty, aren't you? Yeah, Johnny, that's this year, isn't it? Johnny's right. I think it's, 17-year cycle? This year is the 17th year of a 17-year cycle. And in the next few weeks, the theory predicts that there's going to be, right, a biblical attack, biblical size attack of cicadas. What do you call it? Not a swarm. What do they call it? In the Bible, they talk a lot about the locust plague. Is it a plague? We're going to have a plague of cicadas. I predict. So what I would do is I'd go out into the village with my stick and my seashells and my monkey skull, and I'd come out and I'd say, bring me whiskey, bring me cigars, bring me virgins, bring me food, bring me money and a yellow Lamborghini, or you will pay the price. And I'll slam my stick in the ground and the monkey skull will shake and the seashells will rattle. And I'll say, you bring me these stuff or you will pay the penalty. I will cast a plague on you. And sure as shit, those cicadas are going to show up and scare the crap out of everybody. Isn't it nice to know? Isn't it nice to know the cycles? Isn't it nice to know the cycles? Look, if you know El Nino and La Nina, you'll know if it's going to be, right, dry and warm or wet and warm, right? Wet in Georgia, dry in California. What? Okay, warm. So I'm in a situation like this. The wine in Barossa Valley, Southern Australia, your Shiraz. Okay? The Shiraz is going to be fantastic. It's going to be warm. It's going to be dry. Now, wheat, right? Winter wheat is going to have a lot of problem that year. So winter wheat prices are going to go up because wheat crops in Australia, a major export from Australia, the yields will be low. So there's going to be a shortage of winter wheat. Okay? What an amazing prediction. But the Shiraz is going to be fantastic. Fantastic. Okay? You're going to have to gobble up that wine while you can get it. Okay? I put wine in my cellar for at least 10 years before I drink it. So I'm going to, right, in that situation. So, see, El Nino, La Nina. Cool. So you can get all this data and you can be smarter than the average Joe. And if you're 5% smarter than the average Joe, if the average Joe is a trader, you make what? 100% more money? That's probably true. If you're 5% smarter than most, then you're going to make most of the money. Because they're going to do, I don't know, they're not going to make informed decisions, and you will, and you'll be better at it, and you'll just, right? You'll get them. So yes, even nature has a 17-year cycle. Think about this. 17 years ago, bugs dug a hole somewhere in my backyard 17 years ago. Okay? Laid some eggs, and now they're going to hatch. Huh. Somebody's been tracking this stuff and passing the knowledge on. Right? Johnny knows this stuff. And he can predict the future. Why? Because he understands the past. What I'm saying is, if you did some research and understand through your research what happens when there's quantitative easing and fiscal stimulus from the central government, you would not have any problems making a decision. Because you'll say, oh, well, I have a pretty good idea what is likely to happen based on what the government and central bank's doing. That's it. And everyone else is confused. It's not their fault. They just don't know. But you're going to make better trades than them, and you're going to make most of the money. Their trades will be inefficient or ineffective. Okay? Okay? And one example is, I'll end with this. Right? I took 600 pips out of the market. And then the market collapsed. Someone else that doesn't understand as much is not likely to make the same difficult decision. And they're going to have a different outcome than putting 600 pips profit in their pocket. Now, meanwhile, they might follow on with a couple of loser trades, maybe a couple of winner trades. I don't really know. I have dry powder. I have cash. And I'm looking to buy low. So I don't know what they're doing. They're probably responding. Maybe they're selling now. Maybe they're buying. It's all in the price. I don't know. Oh, I saw on TV that everything is crazy. The Fed is doing this, and inflation and this and that. And they're just probably going to be all over the place, making a bloody mess like a chicken with its head cut off. And I'm going to buy low. And if they're putting blood in the streets, cool. Right on. Because when there's blood in the streets, I'm out there mopping it all up. Bye, bye, bye. So how cool is that, right? So thank you for being on my team. Thank you for being part of the Forex.Today YouTube community of 18,000 foreign exchange traders. Please visit tradersway.com. They want to earn your loyalty and respect. Give them an opportunity. Click the like button, subscribe, leave comments, and be good, be safe, be smart, be thoughtful. Your trading should be thoughtful. And if you're in my swing trading group, I will see you in a few hours, and we're going to plan out all of next week. I know it's an unfair advantage for you. I know. But if that makes you feel bad that you have an unfair advantage, then make a lot of money and then give the money to charity. And now you'll feel better about yourself. Peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May our profits be above average. Cheers.